Hey guys, this is Miriam at High Life Auto. I am out doing a video test drive on a 2007 Lincoln MKZ. If you've never been on my video test drives before, the way it works is I drive the vehicle on video and I tell you what I see, hear, think, smell, and feel to give you the best indication of being in the driver's seat without actually being in the driver's seat. I'm not a mechanic and this is not meant to be a 182-point inspection. Rather, it's meant to be a sneak peek into how the vehicle drives and any potential issues I notice as we're going along. So we'll take a look around the vehicle, we'll take a look under the hood, and then we'll go for a drive. And this one, all I know about it right now is that it has cold AC. And really, right now, all that is the only thing that really matters because it's 90 some odd degrees outside. So, that's all I know. Although the auction did say a couple things. I guess I know a few more things. Auction said it's got a wheel bearing noise, it's got a traction light, brake light, something like that. Anyways, those will be, we'll see those on the dash anyways, but that's what the auction said, so just a heads up. All right, so Lincoln MKZ, it's just Lincoln's, I don't know, basic family car. A little bit of rust on the wheel well, right down there on the rocker. The tires are probably about 40% on the rear. And probably similar, maybe a hair better on the front. Being a Lincoln, you're gonna have some of the fancier stuff like the leather. You've got some normal wear and tear as far as weather cracking goes. But otherwise it looks like it's in pretty decent condition. No huge rips or tears. Back end looks pretty good. It's the all-wheel drive version. There is a little bit of rust right there. And then right here is probably the bulk of your damage. Must have hit something right there on that side fender. And then there's a little crack right there on the front. Alright, up. Here is your motor under here. Whew. Sounds like it's running good. It started right up. Okay, we'll do our windows so I can get those rolled up. Driver's side window works. Passenger side window works. Rear passenger side window works. Rear driver's side window works. Sunroof also works. All right, do that. Shut that so keep out as much sun as we can. Like I said, the air conditioning works. I'm gonna turn that up because it is hot outside. Okay, we've got the radio. The radio works. And you've got a couple options on there as far as I don't think you've got nav, but it might be the old nav where you have to have a DVD. Not very many people use it anymore, but it's on there. You've got the CDs, so you don't have Sirius radio on this one, but you do have the radio, and then you've got line in. So it's kind of a little bit old school, but for an 07 it was probably pretty high end. So you've got the air conditioned seats and heated seats, which those lights aren't coming on, so I don't know. I'll turn the air conditioned seats on, just see if I feel anything happening on mine. But I would imagine if the lights don't come on, then the seats are not working. Whether or not that's fuse related or what, I'm not certain. You probably can't see this just because of the sun. There's 168,000 miles on here. Like I said, there's an ABS light on right there, and there's a traction control light on, and that wrench is like an ABS light on. And so those three are not ABS, that's like the all-wheel drive. So those are all related, probably all related. Sorry, I can't 100% say that. But usually those three come on when you have like a wheel bearing noise. And since the auction said they heard a wheel bearing noise, that's kind of where I'm leaning. But I'm trying to get into my, system, into like my, into my suspension, like my brake system, and see if I can find, a wheel that has maybe a speed sensor that's not responding, because then I can usually tell which wheel bearing it is. But I'll see what I can do. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna turn down the radio and we're gonna go for a drive and we'll see what else we find out as we're driving. So, and I might be able to identify, a wheel bearing just from driving it. Sometimes I can. Okay. wheel bearing noise, and if you're not familiar with a wheel bearing noise, typically it starts out as just like a metallic noise, and then by the time most people realize it, it's kind of a just a whirring noise, kind of just like a louder tires on the road type noise. And the way you can identify which wheel bearing it is by turning your wheel from one side to the other, and then, you know, by putting pressure on one wheel or another, it will either get worse or it'll go away. And we will find out which it does when we get up here on the straightaway. But this thing accelerates well, it drives smooth. Let's see. It doesn't really go away when I go to my passenger side. Okay, so it gets quieter when I go to my driver's side, which means, when I go to my passenger side, which means I'm taking pressure off my driver's side, which means that it's probably, with like a 90% degree of certainty, the driver's side wheel bearing. And for those of you who've never changed a wheel bearing before, like, it's not something I've never done before I owned a car dealership, and there was YouTube and there was Rock Auto, and it made it super easy between Rock Auto and YouTube and the O'Reilly's Rent-A-Tools and stuff, or AutoZone, whichever one you like. I'm just doing a little bit more. So yeah, the noise seems to go away when I go towards my passenger side. But anyways, between all that, like, it's not a impossible job. Anybody could do it. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. So yeah, it's there when I go towards my driver's side. It definitely goes away when I go towards my passenger side. So I'm going to say it's probably that driver's side wheel bearing. But anyways, so that's probably that's going to cause your ABS light to come on, your traction control light to come on, and probably that wrench to come on. Left turn signal works, right turn signal works, windshield wipers work, windshield wiper fluid works. And let's try the cruise. Sometimes that will kick off when you have a like a wheel bearing issue, but in this case it is not. So cruise also works. So overall, runs and drives well. It's got some lights on the dash, which I think would all go away with a wheel bearing on the driver's side. Not 100% certain, obviously. I make these videos so that if you're not familiar, you can check with someone who is familiar. Show this video to your mechanic to ask him if I'm crazy, or if there's, potential that these things are true. There was no check engine lights on the dash other than the ABS light, traction control light, and that winch light. But yeah, show them this and see what they have to say. But it seems to drive good. I don't hear any suspension noise. The brakes are really good. So it seems to be a pretty decent car. A little bit louder, but it's not horrible. It's just a good starter car. So if you have any questions, my cell phone is 309-267-7200. Thanks, guys.